Thank you for watching. Jessica in Wisconsin. So today I will be making some green tamales and also red tamales. This is going to be the recipe for me to make the green sauce. For my green sauce, I will be using tomatillos, green tomatillos. Also, I will be using peppers, garlic, and cilantro. The way I'm going to do my green sauce today is going to be, I'm going to be sauteing the tomatillos and peppers on this grill. For me personally, I like them like that better, guys. But if you guys want to, you can also boil the tomatillo and pepper, and then you can blend it that way too. Personally, myself, I like to saute my tomatillos. I hope that you guys enjoy this video. We are making green salsa for my green tamales. As you can see, my tomatillos are almost ready. I definitely suggest that if you cannot extend the heat of the comal, get it utensil so that way you don't burn yourself, okay guys? Just to give a heads up. But at this point, my tomatillos are pretty much ready. You just want to brown them a little bit. And now I will be taking these to put in my blender. So here we are making our green chili pork. So we'll be making that coming up soon. So here we are. Finally, we got the peppers and all of that goodies. I'm going to start doing this into my blender. Just like I said, if it is a little too hot for you guys, try to use the utensil so you don't burn yourself, okay? And I got this many garlic, and the reason why I have a lot of garlic is because I will be using this green chili pepper for my tamales. So the tamales, you want to make sure that the flavor is consistent in the tamal. So that's why I have a lot of garlic here, just to give a heads up. Okay, so with my green salsa, I will be using 1 chicken bouillon, just to enhance the flavor a little bit, guys. And also, I will be using this much cilantro, just to give a heads up, okay? Okay, guys, so salt is going to be up to your taste. I recommend that if you are going to be making this for your tamales, make sure that it has a lot of salt, enough salt, because this is going to be for your tamales, just to give a heads up, okay? This is the salt that I use. All right, folks, so here we are back again making our green chili, which is pork. What I'm gonna do here now, guys, I'm gonna be doing this slow cook too, but I'm browning my pork. Green chili pork was in the slow cooker for about a couple of hours, I would say. Finally, it's cool enough, so I'm pretty much shredding the pork. That flavor, friends, is so good. My family likes it. I like it a lot too. So try it at home. See how you like that. See, you just have to shred the meat, because this meat is gonna go into our tamales. And this is very delicious, delicious. And today I'll be making some tamales. My recipe happens to be from Querétaro, Mexico. So every region in Mexico has their own way to make their own tamales. This is just my recipe. So for my tamales, I will be using some of the masa, which is corn tortilla mix. This is actually pretty good. It's actually really good, and I recommend it. But you can use, if you can get the corn that is natural 100%, you can definitely do that too. I will be using a little bit of royal, which is baking powder, and also a little bit of salt, obviously, because my tamales I will be using a little bit of lard, and it is 1 quart of lard, just to give a heads up. And it is natural 100%. So this is how I'm gonna make my tamales, just to give a heads up. All right, the masa is already inside. As you can see, I will be using my mixer machine. For my masa, I will be using maybe half a spoon of baking powder, just to give a heads up. Masa is already mixing with a baking soda. So the reason I do that is because it is dry, so that way all of the baking powder is mixed in with the masa. At this point, you can put a little bit of salt too. Salt is gonna be to your taste, but obviously you want enough salt that is gonna be good for your tamal, just to give a heads up, folks, okay? These ones are gonna be beef tamales. So what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and use a little bit of beef bouillon. This is dried already, so it's just to give a little more flavor to your masa. So I'm gonna use 1 good spoon. That will bring a lot of flavor to your masa, so just to give a heads up. And everything is dry, just so we don't make a mess, just to give a heads up. That's why I'm doing it this way. We're gonna go ahead and start putting the manteca little by little, so that way you don't make a mess. There you go. It has been mixing for the last half an hour. As you probably know, I added a little bit of beef juice, meaning beef broth, just to enhance the flavor to the masa. You can see how fluffy that is now, so that means that it's coming up to being ready. I know a lot of people like to do a glass of water and they put a little masa inside. If it sinks, that means that it's not ready. If it floats, that means that your masa is ready. Myself, I can just tell by looking at the masa. So if you notice, my masa is nice and fluffy. So if I go on the side, see how fluffy that is? That means that your masa is ready. It's not sticking to my fingers or anything. This means that my red masa is ready for my tamales. This is how, I can just tell that it's ready. But see, it's nice and fluffy, so our tamales are gonna be really good. Just wanted to share that with you guys. All right, folks, so I know that making tamales, everybody has their own technique. Myself, my technique is just like setting up a station. I got my tortilla maker because I use a tortilla maker for me to be able to get my tamal nice and round. I got my meat on the side. I got the masa, tamale masa, potatoes, and these are serranos. And obviously we got a corn husk here on the side. So what I usually do is, like, if I'm gonna make a tortilla, it doesn't have to be too big or too small, but more or less like this. Put it right in there. And then once it's done, then this one is gonna go to the husk. And voila, see? There you go. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna have a lot of goodies here on the side. It's like almost making a taco. And then I like to put a little bit of veggies as well. So here you go. I got 1 potato. I have 1 pepper. Then go on the side. And this is how you do it, see? And there's the first tamal. It's nice, simple, and it has a lot of goodies inside. Myself, I like my tamales to have a lot of goodies. And that's how we do it, folks. We're gonna start making our tamales here. And my husband was letting me know that I should mention something about the masa. Go ahead, hon.
I think it really should be noted that she used 2 different attachments on the KitchenAid when she was blending the masa. The first was the whisk, and then when it reached a certain consistency, she changed to the dough hook. So in the end, it really created a very smooth masa. So any of you who've had tamales in the past know how grainy this can be. This blend that she's created is incredibly smooth and refined. You're not going to find another tamale like this. So if you follow that same pattern, yours will turn out very similar to this. That's what I wanted to call out.
Yes, and we're still making our tamales, folks. Just like I said, everybody has their own techniques. But if you notice, pretty much my tamales are pretty much even. And we're still making the tamales. I think it's a good call because what he said, if you notice the masa is so fluffy, you can just tell. See how fluffy that is? I never seen it like this before in the past. We made tamales and it was not like this, so it's a good point. Thank you for mentioning that. Huh? This is called a tamalera pot because right here you can put the water. Everything is steam. So if you notice here on the bottom, you got something like that, obviously. You put water and everything is going to be cooked by steam. And right here you can just keep putting water just in case that it keeps going down. So you can see it physically. So this pot I bought in Los Angeles when I used to live in Los Angeles. So this pot has been with me for many, many, many years. And every time I make tamales, I make them in my tamalera. So here we are, and this is the next step. We're gonna start fixing our tamales in here. Use some of these husks on the bottom, so that way your tamales will not get wet or soaking wet or anything like that. So I like to put some of these ones on the bottom. I recommend them just to give a heads up. I don't know who came up with that, but I grew up that way. I still do it, and tamales come out really good. So just put a few leaves on the bottom. You can have 2 labels of tamales. That will be okay. You just want to make sure that all of your tamales are really well cooked. There you go. This is the way I do it. These ones are going to be probably just sitting down because it's way too many tamales. I didn't realize how many tamales we're going to get. It's a lot of them. So once all your tamales are inside, you can definitely just cover with a husk, like I'm doing now. Since everything is going to be done with just steam, I like to put a little plastic bag like this one here on the top, so it retains all of the steam from coming out, so that way your tamales can be well cooked. Just FYI, okay? That's what I do. On top of that, I put a towel like this, so it retains all of the steam. And now we're going to start cooking our tamales. Here we go. It's been about 1.5 hours, actually 1 hour and 45 minutes. So you can stir, you can smell the product already. So it smells really good. It smells like tamal. So I'm gonna check on these tamales and see how they look. So 1 hour, I usually leave them for 2 hours just to give a heads up. And it's all cooking by steam. All right, folks, so finally we made the green tamales. It's time to check it out to see how it is. My husband and I tried one before. It tasted pretty good, so this is my second one. This is really good, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Thank you for watching, Jessica in Wisconsin. And thank you for subscribing to our channels. I do appreciate that very much. We'll see you next time.